The anime kicks off with our main character, Nafumi, having a strange dream. When he wakes up, he heads to the library with his money and discovers a book about 4 legendary heroes: the Sword Hero, Bow Hero, Spear Hero, and Shield Hero. The book starts glowing, and suddenly Nafumi finds himself in a different world. Here he meets 3 others summoned by the king: Masukidem, the Spear Hero, Ramaki, the Sword Hero, and Itsuki Kawasumi, the Bow Hero. During introduction, the king seems to ignore Nafumi. They learn about waves of trouble coming and their duty to protect the kingdom. These heroes are all from Japan, but from different dimensions. The next day, the king gives them missions and adventurers can join their teams. But no one wants to join Nafumi's team until a girl named Mine steps up. They go to a weapon shop and Nafumi can only use a shield. Due to this limitation, he buys a dress. Their journey involves fighting monsters to increase their rank. Nafumi absorbs powers from defeated monsters using his shield. When buying weapons and armor for Mine, Nafumi argues with the shopkeeper over the price. Despite the conflict, they make the purchase and have dinner together. The next morning, Nafumi realizes all his stuff got stolen. The royal guards, Mine, and the other heroes accuse him, and the king kicks him out. Feeling set up, Nafumi wants to go back to his world, but they can only return as a group. Feeling betrayed, Nafumi leaves the castle. A mysterious figure approaches him. Meanwhile, the shopkeeper realizes Nafumi is innocent. He gives him a cape and encourages him to take it. Nafumi starts a journey to defeat monsters. When selling items, the shopkeeper initially offers low prices, but Nafumi convinces him for a fair deal. Collecting plants for money, he eats dinner. Later, a man leads him to a slave trader and Nafumi finds a girl in a cage. Now Nafumi is looking at a slave girl as the trader presents a powerful beast. Nafumi wants a cheaper slave and expresses his intention to train them. The shopkeeper offers raffia, whom Nafumi buys. They go to a weapon shop and Nafumi gets a weapon for her. In a battle, Nafumi realizes both their levels are rising. He assigns Raffia to fight monsters for mutual growth. After the encounter, they continue their journey. Raffia, a demi-human, is scared of how people will treat her. Nafumi takes her to a restaurant ignoring the demi-human rule. They order food and Raffia enjoys it. Fighting monsters, they accumulate points and Nafumi marvels at his new skills. Raffia asks about Nafumi's name, and he reveals he's the Shield Hero. This triggers Raffia's memories of the kind nature of the Shield Hero her parents spoke of. However, her coughing fit interrupts and Nafumi offers her medicine. In her dreams, Raffia remembers her parents sacrificing themselves to protect her from a monster, causing her distress. Nafumi's comforting words helped calm Raffia. The next day, he continued selling medicinal herbs to a medical store. Seeing kids playing, he asked Raffia to join, but she insisted on her maturity. Trying to make her happy, Nafumi bought her a ball and took her on a city tour, treating her to street food and styling her hair. Their bond grew stronger, reflecting in their monster battles where Raffia's strength shone. Facing a tough rabbit-like monster, Nafumi encouraged Raffia to defeat it. Initially hesitant, she conquered her fear and triumphed. Upgrading her weapon at a weapons store, they ventured into a monster-filled cave for valuable crystal. Raffia faced her past trauma and Nafumi protected her, promising to defend while she attacked. They defeated a monstrous creature and Raffia clung to Nafumi emotionally. As they faced an impending wave, Nafumi added a new skill to his shield, but a sudden attack interrupted. He repelled the assault and Raffia finished off the assailant. Aware of the upcoming wave, Nafumi and Raffia visited the weapon shop, where she got a generous discount. Realizing the need for armor, Raffia encouraged Nafumi to get customized armor. Dining together, Nafumi insisted she didn't need to compromise based on his budget. With the customized armor ready, Nafumi worried about the upcoming wave. The shopkeeper revealed a clock in a nearby church providing wave information. Heading there, Nafumi encountered the other heroes but kept his connection secret. Alla questioned him, but Nafumi left. When the wave arrived, monsters swarmed. Nafumi, noticing a distress signal, rushed to a village with Raffia. He instructed her to lead villagers to safety while he faced monsters alone. Fatigue overcame Nafumi, prompting him to ring a bell to divert monsters' attention. He then set a tower on fire to disable them. While intervening in an attack on a villager, Nafumi sustained injuries. Villagers, led by Raffia, joined forces against a massive monster. Seeking revenge on the knights responsible, Raffia was halted by Nafumi. Together, they triumphed over the monster targeting the knight leader. The leader tasked Nafumi with defending the village while others tackled different areas. A group of knights joined Nafumi to confront a formidable adversary. Ultimately, Nafumi defended the village alone during the wave's climax. After the wave subsided, many villagers, though injured, expressed gratitude for Nafumi's courage. In the lively castle party thrown by the king, filled with laughter, Nafumi sat alone, detached from the joy. Raffia approached him despite the spear hero's interference. Mine whispered something to the spear hero, changing his mind. Determined, Raphia tried to uplift Nafumi's spirits with food, but he declined. Lost in thought about the recent wave, he returned with food, persisting in her efforts. A dispute erupted when the spear hero challenged Nafumi for Raphia's company. Ignoring it, Nafumi intended to leave, but guards stopped him. The king demanded a confrontation between the two heroes, and despite Raphia expressing loyalty, Nafumi reluctantly accepted. The battlefield was a grand stadium, and the spear hero attacked, but Nafumi countered with his shield. Nafumi gained the upper hand, ensnaring the spear hero in a shield prison. Despite Nafumi's dominance, Mine intervened, causing him to stumble. The spear hero counterattacked, overwhelming Nafumi. He struggled but faced inevitable defeat. Crying foul, Nafumi accused Mine of using magic, but his protest fell on deaf ears, revealing a conspiracy. Smoke from his shield revealed Raphia's vanished slave mark, an illusion that struck him with anguish. Raphia emerged, slapped him, and denounced the spear hero's claims. Violence escalated, and the other heroes exposed Mine's trickery. Raphia sought solace, but Nafumi rebuffed her due to the lingering illusion. The illusion unraveled, revealing Raphia's transformation into an adult. Overwhelmed, Nafumi wept and slept as the crowd dispersed. The spear hero persisted, trying to stand out, but others perceived the bond between Nafumi and Raphia differently. The next day, Nafumi and Raphia shared sandwiches, showcasing the growth of their connection. A clandestine figure spoke to the queen, who instructed them to keep an eye on the heroes and assist when needed. At the castle, the king held an awards ceremony. The other heroes received lavish rewards, but Nafumi got only 500 silvers due to his defeat. The sword and bow heroes argued, leading the king to raise Nafumi's reward. Nafumi accepted it and left. They returned to the slave trader, procuring a new slave mark for Raphia. Nafumi noticed some eggs and inquired about them. The trader explained folio bird eggs to Nafumi, and he bought one. Exploring, they found a medical shop with a magical knowledge book. Consulting a magician, they learned a new spell. In a forest, Nafumi read the book and decided to spend the night in a village. In the morning, they found the egg hatched into a faux bird. They fed it and fought monsters. The next day, Faux grew larger, allowing Nafumi to ride her. They named her Faux. Princess Mai imposed a toll on villagers, met with resistance. The queen's shadow knights delivered a scroll inciting her fury. She challenged Nafumi to a race against the spear hero. Villagers promised a reward if he wins. Despite magical interventions, they secured victory. The princess accused Nafumi of cheating, but the shadow knights testified to his honest triumph. The spear hero confronted Nafumi, but he dismissed the accusations. The villagers gifted him a card as gratitude, and they retreated to a forest. Later, Raphia woke Nafumi to find a girl who greeted him as her master. They proceeded to a weapon shop. Foe's appetite caught the shopkeeper's attention. They moved to the slave trader for a mark for Foe. At a tailor's, they aimed to create clothes for Foe that lacked magical thread. A magician revealed a crystal was needed. Offering a lift to a man, they reached a village where they helped ailing people. Nafumi earned coins and continued selling items and treating the sick. Safeguarding a person led them to mountain bandits, easily dispatched. A gem trader shared insights on gem making and other heroes' feats. Delivering a letter, they ventured into a cave for magical crystals. Facing a monster, they emerged victorious, and Nafumi unlocked a new skill. The magician dispelled illusions, revealing a crystal-filled chamber. Confronting another monster, they triumphed again, obtaining a crystal. The tailor crafted a stunning dress for Foe, who was thrilled with her new look. Foe asked Nafumi what he thought, received a hug after his praise, and Raphia, feeling a bit jealous, thanked the shopkeeper before they left. Nafumi got a potion from a gem trader and wondered how to use it. Foe's sharp senses led them to a village covered in roots, so Nafumi hurried there. Talking to the villagers, they found out about the roots taking over. Adventurers were coming, and Foe checked it out, saving someone from a monster with acid and poison. Nafumi helped the sick villagers with his potion, and they were grateful. The villagers asked the spear hero for help, but his miracle seeds made things worse. Nafumi got a reward, and they fought the root monster. Raphia and Foe faced challenges, but Nafumi's smart use of the potion and shield helped win. Even though they won, cursed seeds remained, so Nafumi used his new power to make safe seeds. The villagers were thankful again, and the group rested. The next day, Nafumi tried out his new skill by growing fruits. Raphia was unsure, but Foe loved the fruit, and they shared it with the villagers. They sold safe seeds and fruits to a seller, completing a mission from the gem trader. Nafumi suggested a hot spring day, making Foe and Raphia happy. Raphia felt jealous of Foe's closeness to Nafumi, but she overheard girls talking about lump crystals in the hot spring. This gave her the idea to find one as a gift for Nafumi. On her journey, she unexpectedly met Foe, and they talked about their goal to give Nafumi a special gift. Both girls faced challenges like the silver razorback, but they got revenge and defeated it. Selling the razorback gave them money for a joint gift, showing their friendship. As night fell, they prepared for the next part of their journey. Nafumi secretly crafted gifts for Foe and Raphia while they slept. Checking the size, he was interrupted by Foe waking up. He hid the gift and casually said he was watching over them. On their journey, they met an old man who told them about his village's troubles. Concerned, Nafumi and his friends went to the village but were stopped by a man claiming to be a medicine vendor. Nafumi talked with the village doctor about the village's problems. Following the doctor's advice, Nafumi went to treat the sick in the village, but the small payment he received left him unhappy. Hearing about a nearby dragon, Nafumi saw a chance for a new mission. He told Raphia to get ready despite the doctor's warning about the danger. Nafumi decided to help, asking for 500 silvers. With Raphia and Foe, he headed to the dragon's location, facing various monsters. Nafumi boosted Foe's speed to go ahead. When they reached the dragon's remains, Raphia felt sick, but she insisted on continuing. Suddenly, the supposed defeated dragon came back to life. Foe fought the dragon, surprising Nafumi and Raphia. Nafumi shielded them from the dragon's poison, but Foe got swallowed. Overwhelmed by despair, Nafumi's emotions triggered a new skill, transforming him dramatically. With his new power, he faced the dragon with unmatched strength. Fueled by his painful past, Nafumi fiercely battled the dragon, using a new fire and blue shield to cut its tail. The memory of Raphtalia helped him regain control. The surprising twist came when Foe emerged from inside the dragon, shocking everyone. She revealed defeating the dragon from within and consuming its crystal. Returning to the village, the doctor wanted to reward them, but Nafumi refused, asking to tend to Raphtalia instead. The doctor assured her wounds would heal with holy water. In Raphtalia's room, Nafumi apologized and Foe presented a dragon crystal, unlocking a new shield skill. Reflecting on the risk his shield posed, Nafumi was comforted by Raphia and Foe, who held his hands. Nafumi spoke optimistically about their journey, sharing a rare smile. Raphia invited him for the night and he assigned Foe to stay with her. Contemplating the need for more strength under the night sky, Nafumi decided to go to the capital for holy water the next day. On their way out of the forest after a victorious monster battle, they encountered a fascinated girl amazed by Foe. Nafumi, Raphia, and Foe speculated on the girl's noble background. Nafumi allowed Foe to play with the girl with the condition to return by evening. Back in the village, Nafumi continued helping the villagers and their gratitude was evident. While changing Raphtalia's bandages, Foe and the noble girl Melty appeared. Melty explained that she got separated from her guards while looking for folial birds. Persuaded by Raphtalia and Foe, Nafumi agreed to let Melty join them. The next day, the group journeyed with Foe effortlessly handling monsters, making the trip enjoyable. They set up camp in the forest for the night. In the middle of the night, Raphtalia woke up to find Melty missing, causing worry until they discovered she was resting inside Foe's fur. Relieved, they reached the capital. Foe expressed her wish to accompany Melty to her home and Nafumi agreed. His main goal in the capital was to get holy water for Raphtalia. Visiting the church, he encountered a fake holy water scam, but eventually got the real thing. On their way out, a knight tried to stop them. Sensing trouble, Nafumi told Raphtalia to find Foe while he dealt with the knight. After evading the knight, Nafumi faced the spear hero, who attacked him. Dodging the strike, Nafumi defended himself. The city guards noticed, creating a tense situation. Melty arrived, using her royal status to stop the impending fight. She exposed her sister mind's manipulative actions, creating fear. Melty diffused the tension, admitting she wanted to be the next queen due to her sister's unstable state. She revealed she didn't know Nafumi was the shield hero and offered him an opportunity. Nafumi, still skeptical and lacking trust, pushed her away. He sternly told Melty to leave when the guard arrived to announce the king's summons for her. Departing, Melty recalled her mother's advice to fix the injustices the shield hero faced in the kingdom. Tensions rose as Foe expressed resentment toward Nafumi for his treatment of Melty. Nafumi tried to justify himself, telling Foe to distance herself from Melty. Heartbroken, Foe's tears made her leave the shop. Nafumi reflected on how the king and his people treated him, reinforcing his trust issues. Foe returned with a surprising guest, the guard who had chased Nafumi before. They wanted to join Nafumi in fighting the waves, inspired by his heroics in saving Lute Village. Nafumi, skeptical, demanded 150 silver coins to prove their commitment. Using the funds, he upgraded his armor and considered enhancing Raphia and Foe's abilities. The shopkeeper suggested class upgrades, but a royal decree forbade the shield hero's party from pursuing them. Disheartened, they sought the slave trader's advice and planned a journey to Shield Freedom for class upgrades. Nafumi tested weapons for Foe and tended to Raphtalia's bandages. While scouting towns the next day, Nafumi found refugees suffering from famine caused by an adventurer with a bow. recognized as Itsuki, another hero. Ren and Itsuki accused Naofumi of stealing their rewards as the next wave approached. Naofumi explained the flaws in Itsuki's revolution and Ren's actions, mentioning a plague. Ren believed him due to Raphtalia's wounds, but Itsuki remained skeptical. Naofumi received upgraded armor from Erhard and accepted the Loot Party's loyalty pledge. However, a shadowy knight reported Melty's failure to win Naofumi's trust to the queen, who was determined to accomplish this task. As the impending wave approached with an enigmatic figure at its threshold, Naofumi presented Raphtalia and Foe with protective gifts. In a poignant gesture, they stood united and ready alongside the Loot Party led by Knight to face the challenge. Suddenly, they found themselves in the midst of the wave's chaos, with A's units protecting civilians while Naofumi's party focused on battling the approaching monster horde. In the fray, Naofumi noticed a retired adventurer effortlessly dispatching monsters. She caught his attention. Amidst battle, a member from the Loot Party instructed Naofumi to aid other heroes dealing with the situation elsewhere, trusting A's team to safeguard civilians. Venturing toward the conflict's center, Naofumi discovered the sword and spear heroes seemingly fighting each other instead of the common enemy. He sternly admonished them, reminding them of the gravity of the situation. Despite his efforts, their mutual enmity persisted, frustrating Naofumi. Playing mediator, he urged Raphtalia to use her lightning magic, revealing an ominous anomaly within the monster's shadows. Even the sword and spear heroes followed Naofumi's strategy. The monsters merged into a colossal aberration, prompting a united offensive from the Bao sword and spear heroes. However, their efforts proved futile. In a desperate move, Naofumi instructed Foe to unleash her wind magic, but it had no effect. The monstrous entity launched a devastating assault, incapacitating the heroes. Naofumi shielded Raphtalia and Foe, absorbing the attack. To counter the threat, Naofumi decided to use his cursed shield, but it unleashed the furious spirit of the zombie dragon, leading to a frenzied transformation. Channeling the dragon's power, Naofumi launched a powerful assault with shield prison, chain shield, and an unprecedented devastating attack, defeating the monster. The heroes were baffled by Naofumi's unexpected display of power, but a new threat emerged from within the defeated monster's lair. Suddenly, an entity descended from the skies, obliterating the emerging threat. This newcomer identified herself as Glass, denouncing the heroes and their efforts as inadequate. To the surprise of the other heroes, Glass praised Naofumi as the only one truly deserving of the hero title and declared herself their adversary. With determination, the heroes, excluding the shield hero, launched an assault against Glass. Despite their efforts, Glass effortlessly repelled attacks, focusing on Naofumi's group. She issued a challenge, breaking free from Naofumi's shield prison attack. Despite the combined might of Naofumi's shields and support from Raphtalia and Foe, the heroes couldn't land a blow. Naofumi unleashed the power of his cursed shield and his strongest attack, but Glass shattered through his defenses. As Glass prepared a deadly attack, Naofumi devised a strategy, prompting a retreat to evade the impending danger. Glass attempted long-range attacks, but the encounter ended as the wave's time limit expired, leading to her withdrawal. After the intense battle, Naofumi's group sought refuge in a village. However, their respite was short-lived as night arrived, summoning Naofumi back to the castle. The king, alarmed and watching events through a magical device, demanded the secret behind Naofumi's powers. Despite the king's anger, Naofumi stood firm, demanding an apology and assistance. The confrontation escalated, leading to a standoff with the guards. Naofumi's threats left the king furious, but ultimately backing down, fearing consequences for harm befalling Naofumi's companions. As Naofumi departed, a woman warned him of the church's conspiracy against him. Meanwhile, Melty tried to bridge the gap between Naofumi and her father, but faced interruptions from Mine, resulting in a heated exchange. Later, Naofumi found solace in a weapon shop, conversing with Ard about class upgrades. Ard suggested venturing to a demi-human country for this purpose. Equipped with supplies and Ard's provisions, Naofumi's group journeyed to shield freedom for Raphtalia and Foe's class upgrades. Along the way, they discovered a letter from Herod detailing equipment in their cart, boosting their spirits. During their travels, they encountered Melty again, who implored Naofumi to reconcile with her father. However, Naofumi remained steadfast, rejecting her plea. Sensing danger, Naofumi shielded Melty during an assassination attempt, leading to false accusations by the attacking knights. Furious at the false accusations, Naofumi instructed Raphtalia and Foe to retaliate, leading to a skirmish where they overpowered the knights. Naofumi seized a pendant from a Church of the Three Heroes Guard, an organization harboring resentment against the shield hero. Inside the royal palace, a group of wizards manipulated recorded footage, distorting it to depict Naofumi and his group as malevolent individuals kidnapping Melty. This edited recording tarnished Naofumi's reputation when presented to the entire kingdom. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, Raphtalia updated Naofumi on the dangers they faced, advising against entering the kingdom for the time being. While Naofumi suspected King Al's involvement, Melty asserted that it was Mine's work. Despite Melty's plea to approach the king and resolve matters, Naofumi remained reluctant, determined to escape the turmoil. Naofumi decided to depart and encouraged Melty to join them. During their travel, Melty inquired about Naofumi's conflict with the king, but he remained evasive. In turn, Melty revealed that the true leader of the capital was the queen, with Altri ascending to the throne after marrying her. This insight prompted Naofumi to question the king. Suddenly, Naofumi sensed a presence and urged the group to continue moving as nights closed in on them. In the process, Melty stumbled on a loose rock, but Naofumi swiftly rescued her. Their commotion attracted nearby guards and the other 3 heroes, who surrounded them. Despite Melty's efforts to explain the misunderstanding, Mine dismissed her claims, accusing Naofumi of using a brainwashing shield. These unfounded accusations intensified the collective hostility of the other heroes. Recognizing the dire situation, Melty implored Naofumi for help, knowing her life was at risk. In a desperate attempt to escape with Melty, Naofumi's party was halted when Muldasu employed magic to immobilize Foe. Amid the chaos, Muldasu caught Foe and Mine attacked Melty, only to be thwarted by Naofumi's swift intervention. As the other heroes expressed concern for Melty's well-being, Mine disregarded their pleas, attributing Melty's actions to the influence of the Devil's Shield. Driven to action, Naofumi activated his Rage Shield, dispatching the knights with the intention to protect Melty. Simultaneously, Raphtalia and Foe engaged Mine and the Spear hero, exhibiting remarkable prowess. Doubts begin to surface among the other heroes as Mine's reckless actions endanger Melty's life without consideration. In a crucial move, Naofumi hands the pendant from the church to Ren, expressing his trust in him and his intention for an investigation. With the situation under control, Naofumi departs with Melty. Soon, they encounter a knight dispatched by Queen Mine, who assists in removing Foe's shackle, expressing Mine's wish to meet Naofumi. As Naofumi and Melty converse, their dialogue is interrupted by Raphtalia, who notices a fire ignited in the forest by Mine, suggesting that the turmoil is far from over. The scenario unfolds with Mine's deliberate forest fire compelling Naofumi's group to flee from the oncoming danger of her pursuing knights. A subsequent morning, Naofumi undertakes a discreet food procurement task while cautiously evading the knights' pursuit. The close border to Silt, enforced by a royal decree, compels Naofumi to a seemingly inevitable meeting with Queen Mine. Amid their journey, they encounter a village where Melty introduces them to the village leader, a well-regarded man. Raphtalia remains somber as the memory of her village's destruction by the knights during the first wave haunts her. In response, Melty assures her that those responsible will face retribution. Naofumi's group crosses paths with nobleman Van Not, who holds authority over the village and is acquainted with Melty, welcoming them to his residence. Rav inquires about the forest fire, prompting Naofumi to attribute it to Princess Mine. Learning of their plight, Renat extends an invitation for them to stay the night, despite Naofumi's skepticism. Raphtalia encourages him to find solace and trust in their host. Back in the capital, the king issues orders to his knights to retrieve Melty. During the night, Naofumi awakens to find Melty by the window, encouraging her to rest. He also tends to Raphtalia, who experiences distressing nightmares. In a moment of unrest, Renat is apprehended by the knights. The maid aids Naofumi and Raphtalia's escape by hiding them in the kitchen, while Melty distracts the knights. Nobleman Idol Rabier, the leader of the knights, arrives and escorts Melty to his estate. Observing Raphtalia's unease in Rabier's presence, Naofumi consoles her, understanding the necessity of Melty's plan. With Rabier's departure, Naofumi locates Foe and details the situation to her. She is resolute in rescuing Melty, and they set forth for Rabier's estate. The demihumans loyal to Renat, who have gathered around the castle gates, inadvertently provide cover for Naofumi to infiltrate the castle. Amid the tumultuous events at Rabier's estate, Naofumi, Raphtalia, and Philo, joined by Melty and Rishia, manage to intervene and rescue Melty and Reignat from Rabier's clutches. Naofumi explains to Melty that, as a hero, it is his duty to aid those in distress. While navigating the estate, Raphia encounters a space that triggers painful memories of her time as a slave. Despite this emotional response, her primary concern remains rescuing Melty. As the rescue unfolds, Rabier readies to harm Melty, only to be interrupted by the timely entry of Raphtalia, Foe, and Naofumi. Together, they manage to thwart Rabier's intentions and liberate Melty and Reignat. Melty inquires about their motivation, prompting Naofumi to reiterate his role as a hero dedicated to helping those in need. In a confrontation with Rabier, who pleads for mercy, a poignant flashback reveals Raphia and her dear friend Rana enjoying youthful moments disrupted by the onset of the first wave. This catastrophic event leads to the destruction of Raphal village, with the villagers being enslaved by the Melark troops. Amid this turmoil, Raylia and Rafa are ensnared by idol Rabier, their lives becoming entangled in a web of misery and servitude. Tragically, Rana succumbs to illness, breaking Rayful's spirit further. Rafalia, driven by a desire for revenge, confronts Rabier, who caused her immense pain. The returning Fumi is about to attack Rabier as well, but Fumi's counsel advises against revenge, urging Rafalia to focus on personal growth. Despite Rabier's wounded pride, Rafalia decides not to kill him. In a furious confrontation, Rabier and Rafalia clash. Armed with her Man of Sword, Rafalia defends herself, causing Rabier to fall out of a window and seal his fate. Afterward, Rafalia apologizes to Fumi, who reassures her that she's not to blame. The group, including Renat, contemplates leaving but decides to complete an important task before departing. Rafalia leads them to an underground prison where Rabier subjected demi-humans to cruelty. The conditions are dire, and survivors, including Rafalia's childhood friend Keel, are found. Keel learns about Rafalia's identity and Fumi's role as the SHIELD hero, triggering memories for Ref T. In the present, they find Rafalia's remains in a cell, burdening her with guilt. Fumi intervenes, expressing trust in her. An illusion of Rana comforts Rafalia, reminding her of their promise. Leaving the prison, they sense Rabier's lingering presence, and he summons a dangerous, ancient dragon-like creature. The scene shifts to a girl discussing the selection of the next Fiel Queen. Fumi and his group flee from the unleashed monster. Melty is shocked by Rabier's audacious plan. As they strategize to draw the dragon away from the town, Melty observes a connection between Foe and the dragon, revealing that Foe, not Fumi, is the dragon's target. They plan to lead the creature to a nearby lake. The showdown kicks off, and now Fumi, Foe, Rafia, and Melty teaming up against the mighty dragon. However, their attacks don't make a dent. Now Fumi contemplates using his rage shield, but an inner voice advises against it. Firebirds appear, signaling the arrival of Fitoria, the impressive Fiel Queen. She effortlessly defeats the dragon, transforms into a human, and guides the group to ancient ruins away from the conflict. In the ruins, Fitoria invites now Fumi for a private chat, revealing her mission to find the next Fiel Queen. Fitoria explains the connection between Foe's growth and now Fumi's guidance, attributing a hero's nurturing to her development. Now Fumi reciprocates by sharing his journey, and Fitoria reveals the global consequences of the waves extending beyond Malark. Disturbed by the hero's conflicts, Fitoria hints at a dark alternative, the need to eliminate them for new heroes. Meanwhile, Ren and Itsuki investigate, unaware of Malty's keen monitoring. The next day, now Fumi reflects on his conversation with Fitoria while cooking. Suddenly, Fitoria appears, holding Melty hostage. Now Fumi pleads for Melty's release, emphasizing their friendship. Fitoria expresses remorse but justifies the necessity due to her commitment. Now Fumi activates his rage shield, ready to fight for his life. Fitoria nullifies his shield, proposing a challenge. If Foe can rescue Melty, all heroes will be spared. The duel begins within a protective barrier, pitting Foe against Fitoria in her human form. Despite a promising start, Foe finds herself consistently outmatched. Now Fumi tries to rescue Melty, but Fitoria thwarts him, causing an injury. Motivated by now Fumi's faith, Foe rises again and confronts Fitoria with renewed determination. Philo channeled her mana to break through Fitoria's magical defense, striking her and leaving a mark. Fitoria acknowledged Philo's victory, freeing Melty as a token of acknowledgement. Fitoria crowned Philo as her successor, enhancing her stats and making her more powerful. The newfound power and responsibility weighed heavily on Philo, who felt the pressure of living up to the expectations of being the next Philolial queen. Fitoria's involvement didn't end there. She unlocked a series of foul shields for now Fumi, enhancing his abilities. These shields represented a new level of strength and versatility for now Fumi, further emphasizing the potential benefits of collaboration between the heroes. After the intense duel, Fitoria urged now Fumi once again to consider making peace with the other heroes. She emphasized the importance of unity in facing the global threats beyond Melramark. Fitoria strengthened now Fumi's armor to withstand the rage shield's harmful effects. During their conversation, now Fumi sought to unravel the connection between the past SHIELD hero and Fitoria, even though her memories had faded over the years. Meanwhile, Ren and Itsuki's parties embarked on a discovery mission, discovering a hidden cave only to be ambushed from above, causing the cave to collapse and putting them in a perilous situation. The scene transitioned from the enigmatic smile of the church's pope to Fitoria, who teleported now Fumi and his companions near one of the other heroes, initiating the process of reuniting them. Fitoria expressed concern, urging now Fumi to keep his promise and protect Foe. As they parted ways, now Fumi's party arrived at an outpost surrounded by vigilant guards. Recognizing their limited options, now Fumi decided to proceed directly. In this location, they unexpectedly encountered Madasu. Despite the tension, he attempted to negotiate once more, emphasizing the urgency of uniting against the impending waves and the greater threats that loomed over the world. Motoyasu, however, remained steadfast in his belief that Naofumi was a danger to the world,